My name's Andrew Schmeidler. For week 5, I'll be presenting you guys with a informative speech on educational benefits of the Kansas Air National Guard and the Air Force as a whole. I chose this topic because from my survey last week, I learned that about 80% of the class is actually currently in the Air Force, Air National Guard, or at one point in time served. This entitles you to quite a few of the benefits, even if you're no longer in the service. I wanted to talk about this today just because this is my first semester going back to school. So I've had a chance to have to go through a lot of these materials myself, along with some of the peers in my shop that I work with, and learn through trial and error some of the best programs that exist out there, and then some of the ones that don't work for the degree that I'm actually trying to achieve at this point in time. I apologize if you hear the water noise in the background. That's my aquarium. It's broken. Hopefully I get it fixed soon because it's grating on my nerves right now. Jumping right into it, I wanted to present the topic of the Kansas Air National Guard. That's where my expertise lies, just because that's where I've been for about the past 12 years. Most people know about the big programs out there like the Montgomery GI Bill and the post 9/11 GI Bill. I just wanted to give a little bit more informative information on how you can actually use these and hopefully not waste some of the money that's been given to you by the government. So first off, what is a GI Bill? A GI Bill is a program that was actually developed by the Department of Veterans Affairs. It's managed by the education bases that we have, or education offices we have on base. So if you're wanting to use it for the Guard, you would go to the education office on the Guard side. The active duty has their own version too, so you might want to use education over on the active duty side of the base. All GI programs require certain qualifications depending on what time you actually join the military, but your education office can usually clarify those for you. Between the Montgomery GI Bill and the post 9/11 GI Bill, they actually share quite a few common factors. The first being they're equivalent to about 36 semester hours, or 36 months worth of educational benefits. Depending on when you enlisted and which bonuses you're actually allotted, you may get a little bit more money on top of your actual GI Bill too. These work if you're currently in the military or if you've still separated too, depending if you filled out the correct paperwork before you left. Some of the benefits of using it when you've actually separated from the military is with the post 9/11 GI Bill and the Montgomery GI Bill, you'll also receive a BAH equivalent to the area that you're operating in. If you're using it while you're in the service and you're full-time personnel while going to school, you're not going to get BAH too, but you're still going to get quite a bit of assistance. These are the two most common tuition benefits that people actually use. The reason I wanted to present them first is because that may not be the best source of money for what you're actually trying to achieve for school. In the state of Kansas, we actually just recently this year, thanks to some of our elected officials, now receive 100% tuition assistance for all state colleges. This is a big deal. Most states don't provide this. There's less than 10 in the entire United States that do provide this. But it's a great benefit to you. So that means whether you're a traditional guardsman or you're a full-time guardsman, you're still going to gain that benefit of 100% tuition assistance. Unfortunately, if you were to stack this with your GI Bill, you're going to be losing some money. So you want to use this tuition assistance right out the gate if you're full-time when you're taking the cheaper classes. Then you're spending maybe $100 here, $100 there. For me, for Southwestern, for the fall 1, 2, and 3 classes, it's only costing me about $360 to gain 9 credit hours. So pretty cheap compared to if you didn't use this benefit. Another one that is available to most people out there that are active guard is the federal tuition assistance program. It's actually equivalent to what the state tuition assistance program is right now. Previously, the state tuition assistance program would only be up to 100%, and it depended on how many people utilized it this year or that year. But now it's equivalent to the federal one, and it's 100% across the board. I highly encourage everyone that has this available to them to take advantage of it as soon as you can, because it may not last until the next elected officials. This is something that is the here and now, so you should probably use the money before it disappears. Some of the other benefits I wanted to talk to you guys about were the Kansas ROTC program. This is available primarily to the Kansas Army National Guard, but the Air National Guard is looking at starting some ROTC programs at K-State, I believe, and possibly WSU in the near future For those of you that don't know about ROTC, it's a program that allows you to go to college full-time and you join a ROTC unit. This is where you receive a little bit of ROTC training, specifically to the officers over your college career. And then when you actually separate, or graduate, sorry, that's a military term, graduate from the military, graduate from college, you're going to have the benefit of going directly into an officer career field. A couple of the other programs I just recently discovered and I wanted to get out to everyone that's currently taking classes are some of the scholarships that exist out there. If you're in the Air National Guard or the Air Force serving in Kansas right now, there's quite a few scholarships for Kansas veterans that are provided by the state. Whether you're active duty Army, Air Force, Air National Guard, it doesn't matter. But these are for anyone that has served any time overseas. That means boots on the ground overseas. No, unfortunately, no in garrison deployment ones that I've located so far. But this is other scholarships that you can use on top of the benefits that are already allotted to you by the government. So you could stack a scholarship that gives you $1,200 a semester on top of your tuition assistance. This is a great benefit because it's going to help you pay for books, meals and incidentals if you need a new laptop for school. It's just great stuff out there. Those are the big main programs I wanted to talk about. I feel like I'd kind of be cheating you guys if I didn't talk about some of the minor programs, so I'm just going to really quickly skip over these because I think it's interesting material and everyone should do their own research, but it gives you a jumping off point. The first one I want to talk about is Air Force Cool. Air Force Cool is a pretty amazing program available to both active duty Air Force and Air National Guard and reservists. Most people don't know about this. I don't know why it's not advertised better, but it's a program for the people that don't want to or possibly don't want to attend college at this point in their career. These are the people that are wanting to get certifications related to what the military's trained them on. So for instance, we'll say you are working in military CE. So you get trained on HVAC systems, you get trained in electrical, but you want some extra certifications that may help you for when you separate from the military. They will actually pay for you to go take these certification courses, not college courses, but certification courses to become maybe a master electrician or HVAC specialist. These are very expensive certifications. They can cost a few grand a piece, but the Air Force Cool program allots you a certain amount of money that most people do not utilize during their military career. The person that actually showed this to me was a senior master sergeant. He's done with college, never touched the money, so it's just sitting in a pot waiting for the next person to use it. I highly encourage you to go out and check it out. It is based off your AFSC, which is your military career of choice that you were assigned to, and it'll show you all the different certifications that exist out there. There's some really interesting ones that will help you in your military career, and then just some really great ones that will help you when you decide to separate or retire from the military. Some other programs I did want to touch on real quick. They're not specific to the Air National Guard, but for those of you that have any family members in medical career fields, the Air Force is drastically hunting for medical experts right now. The big one I actually came across is the Nurse Enlisted Commissioning Program. This is a really great one, especially if you're in the military. You can take advantage of it. So if you're in the active duty Air Force, what you do is it equates to if I was a staff sergeant, so I'm making E5 pay, and I'd get into a nursing school, but I don't have the time to actually take 2 years off of my college. What they will do is they will pay for you to transition to a ROTC unit in that college and be paid as a staff sergeant to go to school full time. On top of that, they're also going to pay for your school. And then upon graduation, you'll be able to enter into an officer program and become a lieutenant or captain right away. This is a huge benefit. If you know much about the nursing career field, the pay is on the downslope right now for the state of Kansas, but the military will pay you equivalent to your pay, or your rank, which lieutenant is already higher than most nurses make at entry level. So this is a great benefit. You're coming out of college without any student loans. You're coming out with experience. You're probably going to see the world. You're going to get a lot of good contacts, and military always looks good on your background. I have about 5 or 6 other pages of programs I actually wanted to present to you guys, but watching the timer up on my screen, I have ran out of time now. So I highly encourage you to go out to these sites. Kansas National Guard Education Programs is one of the web pages, and then the other one you need to search for is the Air Force Educational Benefits Program. That's all I have for you today. If you need any more information from me, feel free to reach out in the comments posts, but that's all I have. Thank you.